the beginning of the campaign for corporate accountability in this case. There will be an appeal. There is a case pending in the state of California under the Unfair Business Practices Act, and that case has the potential to actually impose transparency and accountability standards that are enforceable on Chevron for its actions overseas. The company is mired in lawsuits from Ecuador to Richmond to Nigeria. This case will be appealed, and this is a new era, actually. We have a new Congress, we have a new administration. People are waking up to what happens when corporations are able to operate with reckless impunity, when corporations that are not regulated are able to behave in any manner they choose. And people are paying attention now. People are going to demand accountability, and it's just the beginning. I'd like to turn the microphone over to Monday from Nigeria, who can tell you a little bit more from their perspective. He was a witness in the case.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm Monday Moshaye. The general summary of Chevron corporate ethical and business practice in Nigeria is extremely bad. There's no argument, there's no dispute about that. From the first point of view, they know quite well that their activity has destroyed the way of living of the people. The traditional business of the people, which is largely farming, fishing farming in particular, has been destroyed. The largest percentage of people were out of business because of their operation. To buttress this simple point, they open up the fresh water into the salt water, which is the Atlantic Ocean. All the species of fish, some grass, some plant that used to fresh water has been destroyed, get dried, and completely the people were out of work. Besides that, the sea incursion into the swamp area has made the deep lagoon, which is the lagoons rather, which is the source of drinking water to the people, to become a kind of dry land where people have to suffer severally to have fresh water for drink. Besides statutory obligations, besides international regulations, Chevron has moral responsibility to give these people alternative to fresh water, drinkable water, alternative work, as long as they know they take the people's job. But they don't have that human feeling of doing these things. It is in the light of this unspeakable environmental degradation arising from this company activities that the people chose to protest. Not just to protest, they've wrote a series of letters inviting them for meeting. They take this matter up to the state government to call Chevron, which the government officially invited Chevron, they declined. And community believe it is still within the regulation of Nigeria Constitution to stage a peaceful protest, which the community did. It is an established fact that the villagers were unarmed, and their intention is a pure, complete, peaceful protest. And Chevron, because of the unethical business practice, in fact, a notorious where no kill and go military, as we do refer to them in Nigeria, to come and strike and kill 2 people in the protest. Larry Bowoto was severely injured, and the physical disability on him is clear by today that he has been handicapped by virtue of this attack. And coming to the case today, we believe it's a victory in one hand, because through this court trial, we have succeeded to expose the atrocities of a multinational company like Chevron, which has its roots in a well-respected country like America. The people of the world now know those bad things that Chevron perpetrated over there in other parts of the world. So, on the other hand, another reason why we seek legal case over here in America is because it is globally believed, especially in Africa, that the judicial system in America is independent, dependable, reliable, transparent. That is the more reason why we seek justice here. But the verdict today has certain implications. Although we believe the whole means of justice has not been exhausted, we will appeal the case, as earlier mentioned by somebody, and we believe in the long run justice will be attained. But the implication is these people have come here to lie again. Those who are not hostage takers, they say they are hostage takers. Those who are not separate, they say they are separate, thereby appealing to the leniency, to the sentiment of the jury, and which is by far from the reality. So another application is it is sending a kind of negative signals to the third world country where we believe the judicial system is somehow deficient. But this is not a confirmed statement. It is believed that the whole thing has just started. It's not the end. After appeal, we believe there are still other means, there are still other instruments of the law whereby a corporate organization like Chevron can still be brought to court. So we believe we have won part of the struggle, and the struggle continues. Thank you very much.
One of the things that's so powerful about what we're doing right now is that we are demonstrating our unity and our recognition for all of the different struggles. Niall Malloy from Communities for a Better Environment is going to talk about the struggle against Chevron right here in our own community. Thank you.
All right, well, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here. What we have is an unprecedented situation with Chevron not being accountable to the community from the extraction end, where we see that these issues are actually linked to what's happening in Richmond, California, what's happening on the refining end. We have huge environmental health impacts that are affecting the community. Toxic air emits to the community, actually causing a heap of problems, and the community is acting.
Communities abroad, supporting the communities here in Richmond, always. And lastly, I just want to say that this case in Ecuador is coming to a close. Chevron looks like it's going to lose the case. Recently, the damages assessment was assessed at $27 billion, a universe of damage in the Ecuadorian Amazon that the company caused. $27 billion. It's not cause for celebration, it's cause for outrage, and we need to continue to unite, as Antonia said, and support our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, Ecuador, Burma, the Philippines, Iraq, and here locally in Richmond. So thank you guys all for coming out.
Thanks, Mitch. We just have a bunch of the plaintiffs who just arrived.
I just want to quickly introduce Bert Voorhees, who is one of the lawyers for the plaintiffs, and along with Larry Bowoto, who was the lead plaintiff in the case. I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Chakalo. Chokawa.
So, you know, today is not one of my favorite days. But I just wanted to take a minute out. We're headed back to the place in East Oakland that my Nigerian brothers and sisters have been staying. And I just wanted to thank you guys, because, you know, It's the support of grassroots folks that remain concerned about these issues, that want to hold corporations like Chevron accountable to some standard, any standard in the third world. We can't hold them to standards here, let alone in Ecuador and Nigeria. Today was a loss, but as Ken Saro-Wiwa talked about, the struggle continues.